So what a privilege to share with you about Jesus and the blessings He has blessed us with. So before starting, like you all might be wondering, like why, like usually like birthday we see a lot of cartoons or some characters, but why Bible verses and all? But I need to confess that before celebrating Avi's birthday, I wanted to celebrate God's goodness first. So that is what I have mentioned, celebrating God's goodness. So I'll be quickly sharing, just be patient, I won't take much time. So first of all, you should know I come from a different background. So how Jesus has come in my life. So I was average student in studies. So my parents, they have placed me in a boarding hostel. So over there, like there were a couple of brothers who used to come from a theological college, and they used to talk about Jesus. So I just joined this hostel when I was in 7th standard. So I was very low in confidence, homesick, lot of things were running. So after 3 months, my teacher, she said that why don't you, Ravi, participate in elocution. So I thought, okay, but I never been on stage. Okay, I had that stage fear. So I thought, like, Jesus, if you are a real God, see to it that I just stand and say something, and that I should not feel any embarrassing. So that there should not be any embarrassment or something of that sort. Just you take care, if at all you are a real God. So to my surprise, they were all sophisticated students, because they had been there from their childhood onwards. They didn't have that homesick. Their English was good, not like me. That at that point in time it's not fluent so as now. But still, I could come first in that elocution competition. So that was the first faith, that little seed has been sown. So that is how I met Jesus. To cut the story short, if you know Cyber Gateway, Cyber Pearl. So when I was struggling and looking for a job, and so I was passing by that premises, that building. So Cyber Gateway, and I thought, like, God, I bless me with a job before December, because I don't want to depend on my parents asking for more money, because I have completed my engineering. I don't want to burden them further. So by December 2005, it was that year. So by December, if at all I can get a job, and I need a corporate job, and somewhere like maybe Cyber Pearl or Cyber Gateway of this sort, please, if at all, this is something, this sort of premises, this sort of corporate culture. So to my surprise, on December 21st, I was having an induction, and I was in that Cyber Gateway in one of the organizations. So that is how Jesus speaks. So again, to cut the story short, I'll talk about our wedding quickly. I and Pravina, we got married in 2016. So one of our pastor in a pre-marriage counseling, he said, don't rush for children, just take it easy. First, try to understand each other, try to communicate towards each other, then you can plan for children. So for first 2 years, I was pretty much like, we were cool and all, like we just trying to understand, trying to settle down in the same roof, lot many different opinions and all. Okay, so from 3rd year onwards, we thought, okay, we will have a kid. So I thought it's a very simple process, but it's like nothing was happening. So it's been 4 years by the time we got married, and I won't say concern, but there is something playing in my mind. So I thought, now we need to be serious on this. But to Praveen, I said, we won't go to any hospitals, we won't depend on any doctors, we will depend on only Jesus. So at that point in time, so one of our pastor, he has told me this verse. So the verse goes like this. So Boaz took Ruth, and she became his wife. Then he went to her, and the Lord enabled her to conceive, and she gave a birth to son. Praise be to the Lord. So what he said, instead of Boaz, you say Ravi, and instead of Ruth, you say Pravina and always place a finger on that Lord enabled and try to meditate every day. And we started doing, and so we used to say, so Ravi took Pravina and Pravina became Ravi's wife, then Ravi went to Pravina and the Lord enabled Pravina to conceive and Pravina gave birth to a son. Praise be to the Lord. So till Avi was born, not even a single day we missed. There were times when I and Pravina had a differences of opinion, we had some loggerheads. That time I used to keep away from myself, very rare, but Pravina used to continue that. And many a times it so happened that when I placed that my finger on the Lord enabled, there were many things used to cross my mind. Ravi, you are advancing in your age. Ravi, you have some back pain and all. So Ravi, you are married to a relative. So all these thoughts used to cross my mind. But they never nested in my head. The only reason, because it's not me or Pravina, it's the Lord enabled. So it's Lord who enables. When He is there, I'm sure that we will be, irrespective of our age, irrespective of any circumstance, we both will be having a child. That's for sure. So that's what I thought. So once I was just meditating on my daily word, I was reading Bible. I was reading about a lady in the Bible, Rachel. So she said, God help me and open. So her husband went and laid his hand on Rachel and asked, please open the womb. And it's written that the God opened the womb. I don't know, I felt strongly and I went and placed my hand on Pravina's womb and I said, Lord, please open the womb and bless us with a child. So it's been 5 years then and we still didn't have any children. So that was one of the things. And within a couple of days, one of the elderly couple, they have sent a text saying that, Ravi, we have been praying for you as Rachel has been blessed with a baby, as Hannah, one of the lady was waiting on God in Bible for a child. So as God has blessed Hannah, so as He will bless you and Pravina. So that was what I assurance that I was talking about. I was meditating on Rachel and the same thing has come. So again, to cut the story short, where is my Babai, Ramakrishna Babai? Yeah, he works with Care Hospital. So once I was in his house, he said, he is very concerned because I don't have father, I lost in 2008, but he had been a father figure. So as all my relatives who all are here, they all had been a blessing. Just to mention this, I am taking his name. So he said, out of concern and love, Ravi, I know few of the doctors. Why don't you and Pravina go and visit them? He was so nice of him. But I thought in my heart, I prayed, Lord, have your mercy that I don't want this credit to be taken by any doctor except you. So within 2 months, Pravina was conceived. So we were so thrilled and blessed. So again, cutting the story short, so Avi was born, we were in that confinement. So as the staff and the doctor, they have taken Avi, they have taken her Avi from Pravina's womb. I was super thrilled. You know why? Because Avi is a boy and the verse says, and Pravina gave birth to a son. So I am super thrilled that verse has come alive and we had been a blessing. He had been a blessing and we are blessed with that. And again, moving, I just thought I want to name him something which glorifies God. Then we thought 3 weeks he has gone, we haven't thought of any name. But again, I and Pravina thought the same name. Okay, we didn't discuss, but later on we discussed, and that is Avnil. And Avnil in Hebrew, which says, God is my strength. And whether this name is from God or not, the confirmation is, it rhymes with our name. So, Ravi, Pravi, Avi. So that is how I was sure that God, you have blessed and you wanted us to call him Avi. So this is how God has really blessed us and we really glorify God for his goodness. I just wanted to tell this again. Pastor has mentioned the same thing we haven't discussed. So, how many of you have seen Tare Jami Pe? So there was no response at that time, Tare Jami Pe. So in Tare Jami Pe, that boy, their parents sent him to hostel. So he was very low in confidence, homesick and all. The same character is with me. So there is Nikum is the character who teaches him, who helps him, and he shines. Nikum, that character has been played by Amir Khan. In the same way, when I have gone to hostel, Jesus has played that character for me, and he has lifted me. I was an average student, but he has placed me in such a way that even a vice president of India, then I was awarded with that. So these are materialistic things, but I'm saying God's goodness. So I'm an average student, but still my teachers recognize me. So this is how Jesus has worked, and he has really lifted me and blessed me. So all glory to God. Mahima Ganata Stutulu Yes Prabhu Ke. Thank you.